Still a little quiet on my mic. Unfortunately, I don't have the best mic in the world, but we're here. As scuff can be, my accountability of streaming. I am Uli, and today we are going to start our journey into the world of Taoism. Going to start with the Pewdiepie challenge, reading the Tao Te Ching from Lao Tzu, if I'm pronouncing any of that correctly. And I have a physical copy that I will be reading from, and this PDF version that I have online. I will be using both as I find it a little difficult to understand exactly what they're talking about. I've done some historical studies into the culture of the Far East, China, Japan, and Korea, but only as I've been getting my bachelor's degree in history with a minor in Russian language, but and culture. Which leads to the reason why I am starting this challenge on the 25th of January. And as you can see, I am on page 3, chapter 1 of book 1, because I have not started the challenge at all. Because I'm currently writing my senior dissertation. Fun! I've wanted to blow my brains out every day. I'm kidding. But this is the purpose for this recording, for this streaming, is amongst the chaos of studying history, finding primary source after primary source, and having to deal with the nightmare that is the Chicago citation style, and memorizing that. Lobotomize me, please. I want this to be holding me accountable to reading and understanding and diving deep, and to upholding my promise to the great Papa Pewds, so I will not be shamed for not reading. However, I think the Tao Te Ching is, 108 pages? Something along those lines? Or at least this one that I'm reading, which is the Penguin's Classic one. The physical copy. I'm not sure about this one. It's got some commentary, which we might read. Probably will. I'm also going to help me, I've got a couple of tools up here. One of my favorite AI systems is called Notebook LM. Essentially, it is different from the usual ChatGPT or Copilot or Perplexity and all of those, where it grabs
if you love iPhone,
billions.
You'll
Oh,
love
we've
Apple
hit
Card.
an ad.
It comes with the privacy
Get out of here,
and
you
security.
shiller. Give me back my piano music. You dirty, dirty, dirty boy. Anyway, different from usual AI sources that pull from billions of documents, websites, from online and then give you what it thinks it should say, which is what ChatGPT and all those guys do. Notebook LM, you upload your own source, and it's self-contained with only what you upload. So I only have this version of the Tao Te Ching in it. So when you type something in and you ask it a question, it will only look at the sources that you provide, which is pretty legit, and it helps me a lot with stuff. And you look, it's already given us a little bit of a brief whatever for the book itself. Now, as we move on through the year with the book club and other things like that, I'm going to be adding sources to just kind of ask it questions, extrapolate data, dissertation mind, extrapolate data, understand concepts. I've already run it through some test runs. I've got this, which is just, I asked it, hey, what are some of the basic values, principles, morals, concepts that the Tao Te Ching talks about? And I think it would be a fun idea to make an A through Z list with brief explanations on, say, patience, blah, 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 blah. And I got a little ahead of myself and just asking it in general for the book, and it gave me this list, and then other stuff. But we're going to start from the building blocks. Now, I am also a moron. One step further. My father was probably right when he called me a disappointment. So, I have this lucky, lovely little video from someone a lot smarter than me by Sanjoy, however you say that. Love this video. I have it, it's 6 hours long, but he, from what I understand, is really smart. From my higher level college courses on Chinese culture, Japanese and Korean cultures, and histories, I've taken a little bit of knowledge from that. Not much. But I have read some Taoism and Confucianism before. I've read the Analects, I've read Zhuangzi, and a few history books paired with that. I'm excited for February when we start reading In the Words of Buddha, because I've also studied a lot of Zen Buddhism. It's a little different from traditional Buddhism, which I think that book will be about. And I've also read a wonderful little book called Wild Ivy, which is kind of a autobiography of a Zen Buddhist monk. Highly recommend it. Probably going to be reading it again. I wanted to read Zhuangzi, the Essential Writings, and the Confucius Analects, along with the Tao Te Ching, because I've never read the Tao Te Ching, so this would be my first read of it. And just seeing how it compares with a fellow Taoist and then a Confucian, or the Confucius writings. But I don't have time because I have 5 days left. It's currently the 25th, so I kind of screwed the pooch and on that one. But anyway, after each chapter, I think it would just be fun to read the commentary here, go and ask the AI what it thinks, and then ask a real person. That way I get it from 3 sources, and I am fully informed on what the frick Lao Tzu is talking about. But I'm going to do some quick math here. Some quick maths. 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. That's quick maths. because I don't want to be here all night. Because it is 2:30 in the morning for me. And I was going to go to the gym because I like staying fit and swole. And I broke my diet. And I had a pizza last night for dinner. And I feel fat. Anyway, let's see. So, how many pages do I need to read a day in order to technically finish by the end of the month? In 5 days. How many pages are in the book? But yeah, essentially this is just to help me keep me accountable. And if ever I want to revisit these videos for my own sake, I have them. Let's see. Oh, there is no way that the book is only 87 pages long. What? That's nothing. Is it really only 87 pages long? See, it ends on page 143. And it starts on page 57. So 56 minus... Yeah, it's only 87 pages long. Well, I'll be darned. Okay, well, we'll just divide that by... How many days are in this month? 30 or 31? I can never remember. We'll just say 30 to keep it safe. So that's 5 divided by 5. So we need to read 17.4. We'll round down and just say 17. So we need to read 17 pages. Would you look at that? It's not that bad. That's not bad at all, considering the books that I've been reading for my dissertation. That's harmless. Some more quick math here. So I need to read it, end on page 74. No problem. Might still take a while, considering how many sources I'm going to go through to extrapolate information and knowledge on what the deuce this guy is talking about. Okay. Well, in that case, let's begin. How long have I been listening to this psalm? Oh wow, 30 minutes. Okay, I've got more music, it doesn't matter. Alright, so let's see. The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. Book 1, Chapter 1. The way that can be spoken of is not the constant way. The name that can be named is not the constant name. The nameless was the beginning of heaven and earth. The name was the mother of the myriad creatures. Hence, always rid yourself of desires in order to observe its secrets. But always allow yourself to have desires in order to observe its manifestations. These two are the same, but diverge in name as they issue forth. Being the same, they are called mysteries. Mystery upon mystery, the gateway of the manifold secrets. Now, already, there's many differences between the physical copy I just read from and this one, which is to be expected from Chinese or Mandarin. I can't remember. I don't know if this was originally written in Cantonese or Mandarin. I'm not sure. Let's read this. So, the name that can be named is not the eternal name. The Tao that can be spoken of and the name that can be named, which refer to the denoting of things and the making of shapes, are not eternal. Therefore, the eternal cannot be spoken of and named. Interesting. Now I know from reading Zhuangzi, that a lot of people interpret that the moment you trying to think of how trying to remember my lessons. It was like 2-3 years ago that I took these classes. It's like the moment you try to put a name to something, the more it slips away from you. But I never agreed with that. I think it was more of like, you need to experience something. For me, it was kind of like how if you're trying to talk to a trauma person, someone with PTSD, it's a lot easier to help them get through whatever it is they're working through if you yourself know what the hell you're talking about, basically. That's not to say that you can't have sympathy, but for me, empathy can be a little bit stronger. I'm not sure. That's just what I'm getting out of this immediately. I never liked the idea of, the moment you try and describe what the Tao is, the moment that's not it. Well, in that case, the other 199 pages are useless, because that doesn't it just try and tell me what the Tao means and what it is? And I know that this person is going to echo that, because that's also what I was told. So that's why I trust the person there. It was kind of like my stable point. This number 2. The nameable being is the mother of all things. All being originates from non-being. Therefore, while formless and unnamed, it is the beginning of all things. Whatever the frick that means. While formed and named, it grows, cultivates, protects, and... I'm dyslexic. Disciplines? Becoming the mother. Mommy. Step on me. The Tao is stepping on it. Sorry, it's 2:40 in the morning. Leave me alone. Tao described as formless and unnamed begins the contemplation of all things. Okay. To begin and complete without knowing why. This is the mystery of the mystical. Okay. It seems like you're just being intentionally cryptic without explaining a damn thing. Alright, well, let's do ourselves a little favor and go here, and I'm going to chat. Alright. What shall the prompt be to help us understand what Chapter 1, Book 1 is saying? Let's see. Tell me in depth what book... Whoops, I misspelled depth. Don't judge me. Okay. What, Book 1, Chapter 1. Let's see what it can come up with to help us understand what the frick's talking about. Ooh, came up with a good bit. Let's see. Fundamental concepts of Taoism, focusing on nature of the Tao, its ineffability, and the importance of non-desire in understanding its mysteries. This chapter also includes commentary by that person, which is presented in note form. Okay, well, he didn't do a good job because I'm confused. Eternal Tao and name. The chapter begins by stating the Tao can be spoken of not as the eternal Tao, and the name that can be named is not the eternal name. This highlights the idea that the true nature of the Tao is beyond human language and conceptualization. Then I disagree. It is something that cannot be fully captured by words or names. Then why do so many people try? The nameless and the nameable. Seems between the nameless not being a nameable being, okay, described as the origin of heaven and earth, while the nameable is the mother of all things, introduces the concept of non-being as the source of all existence, core tenet Taoist philosophy. Okay, and I know a little bit about non-being, so I kind of understand that. Non-desire and subtlety. For without desire, there is the recognition of subtlety, but constantly with desire, only the realization of potentiality. According to Wang Pai commentary, subtlety refers to the small origins of all things, which can be discerned when one is void of desire and empty. Okay, I understand that. Potentially, on the other hand, is the ultimate manifestation of being, which can be realized through the desire rooted in Tao. Okay. Detachment from desires. I understand that. I got that. Stick is the gate. Okay. Cool. Well, I say we just keep going. I'm just gonna keep reading. Oh, there's a lot more commentary that I skipped. Oh well. Get mogged. Alright. Let's just keep going. Number 2. The whole world recognizes the beautiful as the beautiful. Yet this is only the ugly. The whole world recognizes the good as the good, yet this is only the bad. What does this translation say? When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, it is ugliness. When they recognize as good, it is not good. Okay. In other words, in order to say one thing exists, the other must therefore be true. That's understandable. Thus, something and nothing produce each other. Bam, right there. Yep, okay. The difficult and the easy complement each other. The long and the short offset each other. The high and low incline towards each other. Note and sound harmonize with each other. Before and after follow each other. Excuse me. Therefore, the stage keeps to the deed that consists in taking no action and practices the teaching that uses no words. The myriad creatures rise from it, yet it claims no authority. It gives them life, yet claims no possession. It benefits them, yet exacts no gratitude. It accomplishes its task, yet lays claim to no merit. It is because it lays claim to no merit that its merit never deserts it. Okay, now I'm going to read this second translation. Okay. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, yes, we read that. Therefore, being and non-being begat each other. Hard and easy complement each other, long and short shape each other. High and low rely on each other. Sound and voice harmonize each other. Front and back follow each other. Okay. So kind of two sides of the same coin. You cannot have one without the other. To put it in a Western Judeo-Christian sense, because that's also something that I am familiar with. Faith and works. Paul writing to the Romans, and James in the Epistle of James. Okay, cool. Therefore the sage administers without action and instructs without words. Okay. Leading by example. Non-action. Understand it. Okay. He lets all things rise without dominating them, produces without attempting to possess. It's interesting that they changed the gender from the physical copy I have. Oh well, I mean, that doesn't matter. I just am fascinated by languages, and studying Russian, there's just language, word genders, and in the physical copy I have, it's more neuter in the English, by saying it, but in here it's a masculine, and it just makes me wonder what the Chinese is, because I like languages. I'm not good at speaking, can't even speak English, let alone Russian, which is a language that I've been trying to study for the past 2 years, and I can barely read at a kindergarten level, so it's all fun and good. Anywho, yeah, I'm just going with the Tao, kind of accepting what may come, way of life, following the mean. Okay, I can extrapolate enough to understand what's going on with this chapter. However, I am going to turn to our tool here. To see if it can come up with other things I may not have thought of. I'm going to change music. Okay. Explores the concept of interdependence and the relativity of opposites. Yeah, we got that. And how the principles relate to the action of the sage. Emphasizes that seemingly contradictory aspects of existence are mutually dependent and contribute to the meaning of each other. There is no this or that, in other words. I remember that. Wow, that's a deep memory from my classes and studying Zhuangzi. There is no this or that. The moment you make a this, you create a that. And it's all perspective, and it's all background, personal experience. How do you view a situation? Well, it depends. It always depends. So that's understandable. Okay, I understand this chapter a lot more now because I was reminded of those things. Chapter begins by listing several pairs of opposites, being and non-being, hard and easy. It states that these pairs begot each other, complement each other. Yes, okay. The oneness of substance and function. Chapter explains that this differentiation is part of a natural process in which substance and function are one. Understood. Tao is the origin, and Te is the end. While origin and end can be separated in principle, they should be considered as two in one. Relativity of concepts suggests that concepts of beauty and ugliness, good and bad, right and wrong, are all relative. However, this is something that I feel is highly misunderstood. It is not saying that those things don't exist. In my interpretation, it's not saying that good and bad, that opposites, don't exist because there is no this or that. There is still a this or that. All things are down. All things are relative. You can rise above all things, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist. They may complement each other, they shape each other, they rely on each other, but they're still things. This is not a scapegoat for people saying, well, if there is no this or that, then there is no good or evil, because it's all perspective. Well, that's not what it's saying, in my mind. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see, where does number 3 start? Alright, I'm gonna take a drink. Drink. This is a short one. Not to honor men of worth will keep the people from contention. Not to value goods, which are hard to come by, will keep them from theft. Not to display what is desirable will keep them from being unsettled of mind. Therefore, in governing the people, the sage empties their minds, but fills their bellies. Ooh. Does that mean I get to be fat and happy? Weakens their wills, but strengthens their bones. He always keeps them innocent of knowledge and free from desire, and ensures that the clever never dare to act. Do that which consists of taking no action, and order will prevail. What does this translation say? Exalt not the worthy, so that the people will not fight. Praise not the rare treasure, so they will not steal. Exhibit not the desirable, so that their hearts will not be distracted. Okay, so pride, envy, these are all things that are easily understood. To be worthy means to be able. To exalt means to praise. To praise is to attach high value. If only the able man is appointed, why exalt him? If only useful things are employed, why set high value on them? Interesting questions. To exalt the worthy man and to glorify his name is to place his distinction higher than his opponent. People will rush to compete for supremacy. If goods are prized beyond their usefulness, the greedy will rush to dig a hole in a wall and to search the chest for stealing, heedless of their lives. Therefore, if the desired goods are not valuable, their hearts will not be distracted. This reminds me of a story that Zhuangzi told in his writings about a tree that was very ugly, and it was undesirable. It wasn't good for wood, it wasn't good for anything. Shade, didn't bear fruit, nothing. And yet, because nobody thought that it was useful, and it just sat there and was one with itself, it lived longer because no one chopped it down, no one ruined it, no one bored holes into it for sap, nothing. And so it was spared, and it lived longer because it seemingly, to the world and through a world view, had no value. So I would correlate that to this in understanding what it is he's talking about. I would like to look at 4 and 5 real fast. Keeping their truthfulness. Interesting. Okay. Those who know are those who know how to act. It's also very interesting. Brings to mind another story that I heard about a butcher who was knowledgeable in the ways of the Tao. I think for now I'm just going to keep reading. Maybe I'll look at Notebook LM and all that at a different time. Number 4. The way is empty, yet use will not drain it. Use, dyslexia. Gotta love it. It's my excuse, kind of how like white women will excuse their behavior because they're a Gemini. I excuse my stupidity because I'm dyslexic. You know, I could also use that if ever I go traveling the world, which I very much want to do. And just be like, man, why are you so freaking autistic? Did you ride a shorter bus than all the other kids growing up? And I'll be like, nah, I'm just an American. Just get out of jail free card. Just like, sorry, I'm just an American. I didn't mean to do that. I'm just an American. Anyway, the way is empty, yet use will not drain it. Deep, it is like the ancestor of the myriad creatures. Blunt the sharpness, untangle the knots, soften the glare, let your wheels move only along old ruts. Darkly visible, it only seems as if it were there. I know not whose son it is. It images it. What? The heck is going on here? The penguin translation for this is kind of hoinky doinky hucky fucky, you know. I know not whose son it is. It images the forefather of God. What does this translation say? I do not know whose son it is. It seems to have preceded God. Oh, interesting. Now, of course, at this time in Chinese history, oh gosh, I can't remember when these writings started. I know it was it around the same time or after Confucius? I know it was well past the Zhao dynasty, because that's what everyone was wanting to go back to, or at least that's what Confucius wanted to go back to. Was it during the Warring States? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I brushed up on my Chinese history. I was mainly interested in Peking opera anyway, and Dynasty Warriors, because I've always wanted to play that game, but I've always been too poor to afford it. Anyway, I'm yapping. I have no idea what this means, but this is a very long commentary on it, so let's take a look. Is it talking about Huang Di or whatever his name was? Let's see. To hold... What? What? Quantity? Yes, to hold quantity for one's family does not make the family complete. To hold quantity for the nation does not make the nation complete. To exhaust one's strength to lift a weight is not one's normal function. But I love to lift weights. Therefore, although a man knows how to govern all things, to govern without using the two principles of Tao is not enough. The earth has its shape, does not abide by heaven, it cannot possess complete tranquility. Heaven has the image of its spirit, not abide by Tao, cannot preserve its spirit. I think this one might call for someone smarter than me. This guy. I am going to, let's take a look at the transcript. Ukrainian women are online. I thought they were at war. Let's see. We're in number 4. Tao is empty, used, yet never filled. This is a problem that I didn't think I would run into. Oh, Jason Momoa. What is he doing? What does he want? My money? I have none. We'll see things as beautiful. Ugliness is created. Okay, we did that one. I understood that one, guy, okay? All can know good as evil only because there is evil. Yes, of course. Wait, huh? Bum bum bum. Doggy! It's a pupper. I had a dog. She has now passed away. Oh, look at that. So freaking cute. I miss her. The old hag died on Christmas. Not last Christmas. Christmas before. It's been about a year since she passed away. Freaking turd. Anyway, yes, we read this one. Read that one. I understood it pretty well. Competitive. Yes. Okay, we got that one. That one was 2 or something? I think so. Yes, yes, yes. Money. Bathwater? What the heck is this guy talking about? In Army of it never was battle retrieved. I might have to just watch this guy. Oh wait, no, yeah. It is the forefather of the gods. Okay. Great. Chapter 4. Oh my gosh, look at that. Does it say that on here? No. Stupid. Whatever. Medieval tavern music. Lo-fi. Shush. Shush. I need to listen to this man. He is smart. He will teach me the ways.
The Tao is an empty vessel. It is used but never filled. Oh, unfathomable source of 10,000 things.
Okay, hold on. It's hard to hear him a little bit. Turn him up, turn him up, turn him up, turn him up, turn him up.
Blunt the sharpness, untangle the knot, soften the glare.
No, turn him
Merge
down.
with dust.
He's too loud.
Oh, hidden deep but ever present. I do not know from whence it comes. It is the forefather of the gods. So this phrase, the 10,000 things, is one that's often used throughout Tao Te Ching, and it has a few different meanings depending on who you ask.
Okay.
Usually the 10,000 things are held to represent all the things in the world or in reality, or the material diversity of the universe. The 10,000 things are also sometimes held to represent all the little distractions that clutter our minds and our lives.
Okay.
Either way, this chapter is basically speaking about the transcendency of the Tao.
Mm-hmm.
We're told that the Tao will outlast all things, the sharpest edge, the tightest knot, even the brightest light. Before all of these things was the Tao, and after they cease, the Tao will continue to exist, even as all the things in the world expire and go back to the dust they were made from.
I remember
The
that.
chapter says that the Tao is hidden from our sight, but exists wherever and whenever anything is, and has done so as long as anyone on earth can comprehend, even longer than the concept of God. Now, if you are religious, this phrase might bother you a bit, but consider this.
Not really.
Whatever God or gods you might believe in, these gods, omniscient or powerful though they might be, still operate under certain laws. There are some laws or forces that even the gods cannot defy. An example from Greek mythology comes in the form of the Mire, the three sisters of fate, who spin the fortunes of gods and humans alike. One can also look to the story of Phaethon, in which the god Helios promised Phaethon any favor he asked for, and could not revoke his promise, even when the mortal foolishly asked to drive his chariot across the sky to bring in the sun, which led to terrible destruction both in heaven and on earth.
Very political of you to use a Greek mythology.
Even in modern Christianity, Christ had to be sent as an intermediary for people because God was not able to defy the laws of justice by simply letting them off when they chose.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I was gonna say, in a Christian sense. However, it can be said that God could defy his own law, but he won't because he chooses not to. Just like how we can choose. He does not break his own law, or else therefore he would cease to be God. If you take Deuteronomy to be true. But there's a reason why. I get what he's saying though, and what he's trying to explain, but from my interpretation is that God has free will, and he makes his own choices just like us. But he follows the laws, and he's a perfect example of obedience in and of himself. But I understand what he's saying. I think I agree. I think he and I are agreeing I'm just saying it in a different way.
Sin. The Tao Te Ching sets up the Tao as part of this universal law, part of the framework upon which all known reality is built. In my opinion, this means a religious person need not shy away from the teachings of the Tao at all,
Yeah,
as they are not mutually exclusive.
exactly. Okay. Okay. Before he... Okay. So yeah, I understand. Very good. Give me my medieval lo-fi. Ah, it's so loud. Okay. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice by recreating his mouth and vocal cords with a 3D printer. It allowed them to produce a single sound.
Oh! Oh!
Sound.
Oh! Anyway, back to the Tao Te Ching. Oh! It's 3 in the morning. I'm yelling. Oh. Okay. Number 4. We read. Number 5. Heaven and earth are ruthless and treat the myriad creatures as stray dogs. The sage is ruthless and treats the people as stray dogs. Is not the space between heaven and earth like a bellows? It is empty without being exhausted. The more it works, the more comes out. Much speech leads inevitably to silence. Better to hold fast to the void. Let me read in the physical copy I have this little annotation here. Let's see what it says. It is said that straw dogs were treated with the greatest difference before they were used as an offering, only to be discarded and trampled upon as soon as they had served their purpose. What does this translation say? Without kindness, heaven and earth treat all things as straw dogs. See, that's very different than the physical copy I have. It says without kindness. This says that heaven and earth are ruthless. Without kindness, the sage treats the people as stray dogs. The space between heaven and earth is a vacuum like a bellows, emptied, but inexhaustible. The more it moves, the more it yields. Too much talk often brings exhaustion. Is it not better to keep the middle path? That makes much more sense in my brain than the physical copy that I have. 100%. Alright, very nice, very nice. How long have I been live, by the way? Does this tell me? Do I know? I don't think I know. It's 3:17. I think I've been live for about an hour. Yeah. Well, I needed to read page 74. And I'm only on page 61. So let's just read. And then, because I don't want to go much more over an hour. Or I could just stop it here. But I feel bad only getting through so many pages. Yeah, that's understandable. It just takes a long time because I want to lurk at it and I want to talk about it, you know? Okay. I mean, that's the first 5. Let's just keep going. It's alright. Number 6, because I kind of understood this. And if I want to look more at what other people have to say, then I can. Ooh, this is very short. Okay. Number 6. The spirit of the valley never dies. This is called the mysterious female. The gateway to the mysterious female is called the root of heaven and earth. Dimly visible, it seems as if it were there, yet use will never drain it. Valley spirit never dies. It is called the mystic female. The door to the mystic female is the root of heaven and earth, being interminable and seeming to endure. It can be used without toil. Okay. Valley spirit is the center of the valley, therefore it is not the valley. Okay, well, listen, dude. This guy's pretty damn good at explaining stuff.
Heaven and earth are impartial. They treat all of creation as straw dogs. The master doesn't take sides. She treats everyone like a straw dog. The space between heaven and earth is like a bellow.
I understood this. Give me chapter 6. Damn you! Get out of here. I know ads. What happened to my country? It blew up.
The valley spirit never dies. It is named the mysterious female, and the doorway of the mysterious female is the base from which heaven and earth sprang. It is there within us all the while. Draw upon it as you will, it never runs dry.
Even that translation
So
made more sense.
Interpreting this chapter, I'd like to just lay a bit of groundwork to hopefully let you use your own intuition and to draw your own conclusions about it. The valley spirit mentioned in the 3rd line has also been translated as the spirit of emptiness, or even just the Tao. The doorway of the mysterious female, sometimes rendered as the subtle female, has been sometimes suggested to allude to the gateway of a woman's womb. All throughout the Tao Te Ching, the traditional characteristics of the female, i.e. submissiveness, humility, quietness, generosity, etc., are applauded and endorsed.
Sexism.
The Tao Te Ching certainly included a few ancient texts to do this. It would have been in pretty stark contrast to the prescribed cultural norms for men of Lao Tzu's day. In today's day, this runs counter to the culturally prescribed norms for any sex, as many of these quote-unquote traditionally feminine characteristics have begun to fall out of favor even for women. Please understand that neither I nor Lao Tzu are making any political statements about equality or gender roles. Lao Tzu was not putting one sex above another. Rather, he was
Had to give that stipulation so you don't get canceled. I'm joking.
encouraging both men and women to cultivate in themselves certain human characteristics above others.
And that makes
This was
sense.
radical then, and it's radical now. Not because of any political implications, but because of its endorsement of human qualities that are and were supremely undervalued.
True.
The Tao is often described in terms of these traits. So, what do you think this means for us? I understand that whenever we talk about things like gender, there is a potential for things to get political. So, let's just be kind to each other in the comments and have a quality discussion without putting words in each other's mouths.
Okay, and the one thing that I really love. Damn it! I don't want to be live for much longer. Okay, chapter 7, perfect. the purpose going back, it kind of goes back to chapter 2, I believe it was. About how this and that, they offset each other, harmonize each other, two sides of the same coin. It's that. It's basically that. Okay. I understand. I understand. Chapter 7. Heaven and earth are enduring. Wait, where's my music? How dare you? Heaven and earth are enduring. The reason why heaven and earth can be endured is that they do not give themselves life. Hence, they are able to be long-lived. Therefore, the sage puts his person last, and it comes first. Dyslexia, treats it as extraneous to himself, and it is preserved. It is not because he is without thought of self that he is able to accomplish his private ends. Let's read this one. Heaven lasts, heaven endures. They last and endure because they do not live for themselves, and thus can live forever. Therefore, the sage positions himself behind and yet stays ahead. He denies himself and so is preserved. It is not because of his selflessness that he Is it not because of his selflessness that he completes his own? Okay. Yeah. See, I like reading it twice like this because it makes more sense when I do that. Because that made more sense. Honestly, it's kind of hard for me to understand some of the stuff in the physical copy I have from Penguin's Classics. Some of it's a little tricky. But I like it. Alright. Number 8. Highest good is like water, because water excels in benefiting the myriad creatures without contending with them, and settles where none would like to be. It comes close to the way. Right, I understand that. Okay. It just flows. Okay, yes. I understand that. Okay. Sorry. In a home, it is the sight that matters. In quality of mind, it is depth that matters. In an alley, it is benevolence that matters. In speech, it is good faith that matters. In government, it is order that matters. In affairs, it is ability that matters. In action, it is timeliness that matters. It is because it does not contend that it is never at fault. I would like to see what he says on that. And then I might play Stardew Valley or something. Let's go ahead and skip to chapter 8. Because I understood chapter 7. Well, it's not like, oh, I completely comprehended it. I got it enough to be comfortable.
In the words of Albus Dumbledore, it is a curious thing, but perhaps
Ooh,
those
he
who are best suited to
quotes Albus
practice things like
Dumbledore.
find yourself constantly being
Albus
good
Dumbledore was a Taoist. I knew it all along. He was a communist.
The highest good is like water. Water gives life to the 10,000 things and does not strive. It flows in places men reject, and so is like the Tao. In dwelling, be close to the land. In meditation, go deep in the heart. In dealing with others, be gentle and kind. In speech, be true. In ruling, be just. In daily life, be competent. In action, be aware of the time and the season. No fight, no blame.
I really like his translation.
Now, this is probably not the first time you've been told to be like water. It probably won't be the last.
Be water, my friend.
Water has a lot of the qualities prescribed by Taoism, and indeed much of Eastern philosophy. Water can trickle as a stream, or it can crash as a wave, but it always does its work by going with the flow of the land,
Exactly.
by utilizing the environment around it, and by not striving to make things into that which they are not.
Non-action.
The chapter mentions that water flows in places men reject. This is also sometimes translated as water flows into low places. Water follows the pull of gravity. It doesn't mind being lower than everybody else. Similarly, a master doesn't mind being seen as lower or less important. In fact, he chooses these places. He is meditative, gentle, honest, fair, and kind.
This is me trying to remember back from my college classes that, again, were like 2-3 years ago now, when I want to say that Confucius did something like this, because I remember correlating it with when Christ sat with sinners and argued with the Pharisees and Sadducees, but that's just because, that's what I know. And so I correlate it with my Western thinking. Because I'm a white man! Okay.
He is competent in what he does, but he does not assert his dominance. Although his skill may be great, he knows when is the time to employ it and when it is not. He understands that there is a time and a season for everything. He doesn't blame others. He doesn't pick fights. He does his thing, and he isn't concerned about the result. If we can learn to emulate these qualities, we will find that we, like water, can accomplish much while striving very little.
That also reminds me of a story from when I read Zhuangzi. He talked about a story of a guy who had a horse that threw his son or something, and his son broke his leg, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's so terrible," and he's like, "Maybe, we'll see." And then an army conscriptor came by and was like, "Oh, your son's leg is broken. Get over it. He doesn't have to enlist. He's not being pulled into the draft." And everyone's like, "Oh, that's so great. Aren't you so lucky?" And the dad is like, "Well, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe." It's all 2020. It's perspective. It's the bird flying in the sky. You don't know how big it is because it's too far away. It's perspective kind of thing. And it's hindsight. I think Confucius also said that, I'm kind of just yapping now, but tangenting. Confucius also said that he didn't know if he was a good person or not, because the only way to judge if someone was good is you have to wait for them to die, and then you can see their entire life in hindsight, and you can judge their life for yourself, which is also interesting because Christ said the exact same thing. But that's a good place for me to stop. It is 3:30 in the morning. My tea that I have next to me has completely gotten cold because I forgot about it, and that's always a sad thing. Still pretty good though. Is orange tea. Herbal tea. So good. So good. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But that will do it for me. I will set time aside after my studies. I'm going to do some last-minute homework for the weekend. And then I have a D&D game later, and that will be a nice break for me.
It is easier to carry an
Hey, chill. Turd. But that will do it for me for right now. Yeah, I've been live for 100 billion years. But this is me, baby VTuber, baby streamer, still figuring things out, not knowing what I'm doing. I have this whole idea for VTuber persona OC that I can't realize because I don't know how to draw.
And I have no money to make other people draw for me. I don't know how to do it.
But anyway, I will see you later.